everybody, and welcome to another episode of The Unusual Suspects. Guys, we have got an absolute banger. By the way, I'm 46 years old, and I've never said that we've had a banger, so I'm happy that I got to do it. Before we get into all the stories, I'm going to go on and introduce everybody. Taylor is in the house looking all lovely. By the way, I told her if I was gay, I'd wear that outfit 100% all the time. Humberto's here. And by the way, Humberto is wearing his glasses. For anybody that was in the chat talking crap, take them off, you look stupid. His glasses are back, and they're bad. Rob is here, and unfortunately, everybody, he is wearing pants. We did get a bunch of requests. Leave the pants off, but Rob today is wearing jeans.
Thank you. I'm actually going to combine their outfits together and wear that to the Met Gala next year. The glasses with that outfit.
Wow.
I'll loan it to you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, and all right, guys, and we're really excited. Today we have a brand new, unusual suspect. She's from Tejas. I said it right, guys, because I'm trying to be. She is a reporter for Turning Point USA's Frontlines. She's a patriot. She speaks the truth, and we're very excited to have her. Savannah Hernandez, how you doing, love?
Doing great. Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here.
I love it. So you left. The heat was. It's getting ridiculous at this point.
Oh yeah, it's bad. It surprisingly feels much better over here in Florida.
Yeah.
Texas is scorching hot right now.
Ugh,
yeah,
it's bad. So Savannah, do me a favor. Just take a couple seconds, a minute, look into your camera, tell everybody who you are, what you do, what you're all about, and yeah, we'll get into it.
Sure. Well, my name is Savannah Hernandez. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. And I have been a reporter on the ground for the past 6 years, and I basically tried to cover everything that the mainstream media refuses to touch or likes to lie to the public about. So previously, like the NCAA 2022 Women's Swimming Championships, when Leah Thomas was swimming against women, or the 2020 George Floyd riots, I've covered everything from, again, transgenderism and protests on the streets about that, to the illegal immigration crisis currently ravaging the United States of America. So I really just tried to touch on every single topic possible.
So wait a minute. I'm sorry. You mean to tell me you do actual reporting?
I do. And
That's
I was
so weird, because a lot of people don't know what that is or how to do that.
And, I was actually banned from formerly Twitter for 2 years because my stories were making national news, and they were pushing back against the entire mainstream media narrative. And that resulted in me getting banned 3 separate times.
Oh, weird. Weird. Hey,
Imagine that, right?
Yeah,
How does that affect? Sorry. How does that affect your livelihood? Because if you do this, some people do this for a living, right? So when you get deplatformed from all of these different platforms, it also hurts your revenue. It's not like, oh, I just can't tweet. It's now I also can't earn money for exercising the First Amendment. That's so weird.
Well, see, and I think the thing that was most frustrating for me personally was the fact that I utilized my platform to highlight the voices of American citizens. I think that's very important. So when I was censored, it wasn't just me that was censored. It was American citizens, right? For example, that athlete that spoke out against Leah Thomas. She was the first one in the country to speak out against transgenderism in women's sports. Her interview garnered 2 million views, made Tucker Carlson. Twitter deleted it 2 days later. And it was because, again, at that time, the entire media was pushing this narrative that this was accepted, it was a great thing, and she pushed back against it, and they silenced her. So it was, I think that's one of the periods of my career that made me the most angry in terms of censorship.
I feel you.
Can I fanboy a little bit? I'm a day one. I think your work,
Stop.
your woman in the street work is man in the street, woman in the street.
She's a person in the street.
Person in the street work.
Please use my correct pronouns.
Yeah. Hey, don't mess this up,
Person in the
glasses
street
boy.
is absolutely incredible. She is brave. I see you in places that I wouldn't want to be in.
Yeah, and I love it because
incredible.
It's genuine. It's like real reporting.
Fearless.
It's not, because I think there's no reporters in mainstream. It's all political activism. That's all of those people have an agenda. I think like grassroots people on the ground reporting. I think that's what's keeping this freaking hope and this future being bright. Are people like you, Savannah. I respect you for. And speaking of, I'm going to get into the stories that nobody really reports on. I'm going to go through the topics today, and then we'll just get into it. Vitaly and another YouTuber ran into a predator trying to go up with a 15-year-old girl. I'll show you guys that video. Blackface. Some kids got rewarded some cash because guess what? Again, wasn't blackface. We're going to talk about immigration in America. Rob, you're going to talk about Trump and his what is it?
His kill teams.
Kill teams.
Yes, sir.
Holy schmoly. Taylor, we're going to talk about taxes under Biden, which I'm going to just go on a limb, but a very strong limb. Pretty sure they're going up. And Humberto, Eurovision, I walked into the office today, and this guy was red, and he's like, this is the best story I think I've ever had so far. So I'm really excited. But guys, before we get into it, I'm pretty sure for the most of you guys that know, for the new people, there's an app called Connect, all right, that Patrick came up with. You want to connect with people that you know, professionals, comedians, writers. Those are our QR codes. It's one of the fastest growing business entrepreneur apps. You could get Rob Gargiulo's there. Anything about producing, about fatherhood, about not wearing pants. That's Rob's right there. Please connect Rob. Umberto's here. Anything from YouTube, anything from politics to history, philosophy. Umberto's there. His hair is fantastic. He'll tell you about his glasses. Taylor DeGrande is on there. She has business, entrepreneur, sales, books, faith, Christianity. That's your girl right there. Please connect her. And Kelly, my love. Guys, anything about production, behind the scenes, in front of the scenes, beside scenes, everything about YouTube and podcast, Kelly's your girl. And there's a competition we have going to win a dinner with Patrick and the winners of this competition. Click on here. It'll give you all the details of the Manek. And I think afterwards we're going to get Savannah on there if there's no stalkers that are going to come after her. Anyway, that being said, guys, we're going to get into the first story. Did you guys see the video? I want to know, did all you guys see the video? So Vitaly, I think I'm going to say his last name, Vodorevsky, and Bradley Martin, who are doing like a Catch a Predator style videos where they're going around Los Angeles and they're setting up these online things, like, you know, just like the show. And they film themselves busting a Hollywood screenwriter. His name was allegedly, I'm pretty sure it's him, Herschel Weingrod. I think me and Rob talked about this on the last show. He was supposedly trying to meet up with a 15-year-old girl. Weingrod is known for writing blockbuster films, including Space Jam, Trading Places, Twins, and Kindergarten Cop, of all movies, no pun intended. The man in the video says that his name is Boris before saying that the whole thing, he was just flirting with the minor, all right? And as you guys, as he tried getting away, they did a bunch of crazy stuff to him.
Oh, fuck.
What's your name?
Who are you?
What's your name?
Who are you?
Why are you suing my fucking daughter? What's your name? What is your name?
Boris. My name is Boris.
Boris, what's your name?
name.
Take my hand.
What's the problem?
Why are you suing my daughter? You know how old she is?
I have no idea.
You have no idea.
I have no idea.
You have no idea.
No.
The fuck you thought was gonna happen here?
Nothing. We're gonna have a pizza.
Look at him, caught in the act.
Pizza. Yeah, you don't know? How old is she?
Brad.
You know how old she is?
I matched with her. She was 23.
23. Is that what the conversation looked like?
They're showing him the text.
23 on a
23.
dating site.
On a dating site?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah, she was 23 on
How
a
old is
dating
she?
site. I have no idea.
Lila, how old are you?
I'm sorry.
15.
She was 23 on a dating site. All we've done is
So
talk.
she didn't tell you how old she was?
She did.
She did?
Yeah.
How old is she?
She said she was 15.
How did she tell you how old she actually is?
She said she was 15.
She said she's 15. Why are you here? Why are you sitting here?
I'm just having a
With a fucking 15-year-old?
pizza.
Piece of pizza with a fucking
I'm
15-year-old.
just having pizza.
You think that's okay?
Weird. It's always pizza.
Always pizza. Weird.
Spoke about that.
Pizza gate.
Oh, no.
Kelly, can you do me a favor, my love? Kind of fast forward because look what
Really?
they do a little
Yeah,
bit
we've
towards the
been
end.
talking and
Look what
flirting.
Vitaly does. Keep going, Kel. Oh, right. Rewind it a little bit. Rewind it a little bit. Vitaly hits him with like a little bit more. They have these, you know, those like it's a boy thing.
I'm sorry,
What are they
it's
called?
The
Like
gender reveal
reveals.
cannon.
Watch this. He tries to leave.
Kiss, touch, and lick, whatever.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, look, this is a.
It's just weird. I don't understand
What's
what
this?
people
So you're a
say.
pedophile trying to meet a 15-year-old.
What's it?
Oh shit! I'm sorry, it's not a boy.
Good.
It's
Not a boy.
girl.
And look.
Whoa.
So now he has all this stuff on him. They're all talking in the back.
Yeah, you are.
I kind of like the concept of marking pedophiles like this.
Well, yeah, Kelly, my love, you can pause it. Guys, I want, Savannah, so you guys see this, please, I want to know your thoughts. I want to know everybody's thoughts, and then we'll get into...
Yeah, absolutely. Well, first off, I think that we're way too soft on pedophiles in this country. I like the concept here of potentially marking them. Yeah, you know, it's disgusting. This guy knew that she was 15 years old. He's on camera admitting it. And I constantly ask myself this question, how we've cultivated a society in which, for some reason, we are so soft on pedophiles, how you have other people breaking various laws in the country and they'll go to jail for multiple years, right? It's like, for example, we have the entire DOJ focused in on Donald Trump. Meanwhile, we have the entire pedophilic Hollywood targeting children all the time. It's like our priorities in this country are so displaced. And yeah, death penalty to pedophiles, I'm just going to say.
Listen, and but by the way, at least she has a position, and I feel, by the way, when you said marking them, I'll say, and by the way, some people will be like, Savannah, that's way too hard. No, because I said this a while ago. You're ruining this kid's life. If you actually go through with the act,
Yep.
you're done. I think a tattoo on the forehead that just says pedo. like a permanent tattoo that says pedo. What do you think, Taylor, about the whole situation?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's repulsive for one thing. And also, like, I'm curious, is anything going to happen to this gentleman? He just had it on video, so I wonder if you have details of that. Because this should be, like, news, and, you know, this should be...
It's not, by the way, because me and Kelly last night, right, Kel? We tried to look up if he's been arrested or not. We looked at the records.
Nothing, right?
No, absolutely nothing.
Absolutely.
Which I think is fucking ridiculous. But, again, they are protected. And, guys, I'm going there. I feel, this is my opinion, that the judges, the prosecutor, all these, this is Hollywood. They all know each other. It takes one phone call. Like, listen, even if he gets arrested, let's plea him out, let's blah, blah, blah. That guy, especially of that stature, Hollywood, producer, writer, whatever, 0 jail.
0 jail, and they know each other, but they also know about it. Like, this isn't a secret, you know what I mean? So it's like, hush, hush, but also, it's because we're so desensitized that he's like, oh, I'm just having a piece of pizza. That's going to be okay because you're out with a 15-year-old girl. You're out with a 15-year-old.
Yeah, you're not related to her.
I don't care if you're having pizza, if they're walking your dog.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing?
We know for certain. I'm not trying to believe me. The last thing I want to do is get on here and defend pedophiles.
Go ahead.
I agree with your statement. I think pedophilia is a disease that cannot be cured. Mm-hmm. It is a mental disorder that cannot be cured. And these people, unless they are sterilized and neutered like a dog or put down like one, they will reoffend. You look at the reoffender rates among pedophiles; it's like 56% in the first 2 years after being released.
Yep.
And they traumatize these children and change their lives forever. So I'm all with you. But where is the evidence that this guy didn't know that she was 15?
He admitted it.
He said she said she was 15 before they sat down.
When they questioned him, she said she was 15, but on the dating app that he met her on, she was 23.
He should have immediately gotten up as soon as she said that she was 15 and left.
I don't disagree, but this guy, from what I'm looking at, where are the messages? You said nobody's reported on this. Has Bradley Martin released the screen grabs of the messages of the communication where it says that this girl is 15? Again, I don't want to say this guy's not a pedophile. I also don't want to say that he is one until I see more evidence.
Yeah.
But I 100% agree. If a girl tells me I'm having dinner with her and she's 23 on a dating app and I get there, first of all, I'm in trouble because I'm married, so I shouldn't be in that position.
True.
But if I'm in that position, yes, if a girl's like, well, I'm 15, I get up and I walk away immediately. He did not. But my takeaway from watching that video was he said that she said she was 15 when she said that in front of Bradley Martin and Vitaly, not through the dating app where that's where he says she said she was 20.
I get that point, and again, I know what Rob, like, where you're coming from and why you're saying it. We don't, like, dude, for all we know, because we don't have any definitive proof. Is it a prank? Is it not a prank? These guys are YouTube pranksters. That looks kind of serious. I do understand where you're coming from, and I think if the action happens, if you're actually hooked up with a underage person, the punishment has to be extremely severe.
You may go into Congress or become president.
Like, I don't know about this. I don't know about this guy in particular. You know, he looks pretty sus.
Yeah,
okay?
He does. He matches the profile.
Yeah,
Every time you've ever seen like a creepy guy.
I'm gonna talk about the economics of this in general.
Yeah,
like this comebacks. Like, geez, I'm gonna get so canceled for this, but it doesn't matter. Like, a round of 9mm is 50 cents.
Yes,
and it takes 2 seconds. Anything that requires more money and more effort for this fucking
it's all
for
good.
this
You're in charge
comebacks.
Yeah.
Anything that requires more money and more effort is out of the table. All this weird punishment of marking them, tearing them, whatever. Let's put them out. I don't want to feed them. I don't want an operation. I don't want anything. Just put them out. One less. It's over.
Well, guys, your question though, at what point? I feel you. And that's at least again like
I don't
with
play
her.
this game.
You guys have
I don't play this game.
You guys have your stance. At what point? Like Rob said, he's going to go meet this underage person. Where is it death penalty for up to that? Or does he actually have to go through, like, meaning we caught him with a 15-year-old? They're setting him up. This is a sting operation for perverts. Where do you draw the line? Because I think a tattoo, for me, I'm being genuine. If you get caught like that on camera, you were meeting it, everybody's there to see you, we tattoo your head. Just like in the movie Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, she put rapist pig. She got him passed out and tattooed on his chest. So no matter where he goes, it's on his body.
That's the Scarlet Letter, right?
That's Scarlet Letter, yeah,
that's
exactly.
how they knew that they were loose.
You know what?
Where are you at?
You know, this is by design. For example, in California, they just changed the law and they renamed all these predators. They give them a softer name. I don't know what it was. I don't know if you guys read
Minor
it.
attracted person.
Yeah, they
Minor
renamed
attracted
it,
person.
and I think they're going to start taking them out of the register of sex offenders there as well.
Well, and I want to point out too that the reason why we have this hard stance on it is because society has gotten so soft that, like you're talking about, we are even having the conversation that being attracted to a minor is an okay thing and should be accepted by society. When why are we even having this conversation? Why, as a society, can we not agree that we need to protect the most vulnerable and innocent among us?
And we
100%.
choose not to.
100%.
It's a deliberate choice not to. When you see things like drag beauty shows for kids and drag queen story time, and the sexualization of children is a huge problem in this country.
Oh, yeah.
And the fact that that we even have to sit here and have this conversation as to what should we do to a pedophile. Like, we should eliminate them.
Yeah, no.
They're
No.
terrorists to children.
And again, great point. Are the children of this country, I mean, around the world in general, but are the most underlooked, uncared from the transplanting in the sports to the stripping, like you said, Rob, to how many kids go missing in this country? Nobody gives a damn. All the people that were sex trafficked under Ghislaine Maxwell and all these people.
300,000 kids missing every year. And
Where are they?
Where are they?
You tell me. Is
No
there any-
bodies, no nothing. 300,000 kids missing in America. You know what? It makes me so angry. You know, like the Me Too movement. Okay,
Yeah.
it was a big deal. It's being reversed. Harvey Weinstein's gonna be out soon, and whatever.
Yeah.
Like,
well, his rape got. They're like, you know what? He already had 3 rapes. Let's get rid of one of the other rapes. It looks really bad.
They were so concerned. Like, this is gonna get canceled again, but they were so concerned about adult women. Mostly consenting,
Yeah.
that were trying to gain an advantage in Hollywood.
Well, okay, but there were also stories where he jerked off into a plant. I doubt that the girls were consenting to that.
Rob, it is weird that you have a plant behind
it's
you.
Weird, it's weird
What were you
that,
doing to that
you know what's
plant?
weird, that they made all this fuss about it, all these movies about it. Most of the actresses, they benefited greatly. And now that the kids' things about Hollywood are coming out, there's no movie about it.
Quiet.
You can't talk about it.
People are speaking
where the-
against it.
Yeah, they're
And
talking
didn't,
about-
and
yeah.
didn't you say he makes movies for children?
Oh, what do you mean? He made Kindergarten Cop.
So it's like,
guy-
it's the same
Big
guy.
guy.
Every single
Oh,
time.
get outta
Every
here.
single
Get
time. So that's
outta
Scrappy
here.
alone, right?
He
So like
makes
he's
Space Jam.
actually, he's the one
guy
making
makes-
it.
He wrote in, yeah. And so, guys, and by the way, and I agree with you guys 100%. I love Rob because you're Rob's throwing the flip side of the coin, but I
I
think
just want more evidence. That's all.
no, I agree, but to catch
Allegedly.
Well, you know why I love this type of thing, and I'm behind these guys 1,000%. And I love what you said. Mark them, let them know, point them out, because look, To Catch a Predator is, to me, one of the best shows the United States in the world have ever created. Okay, just exposing all these predators. And what I loved about it too, it was people from all walks of life. If anybody actually saw the show, God, I don't even know how many seasons. Maybe one of you guys can tell me how many seasons it did. But by the way, they were catching doctors, writers, construction workers, producers, gay guys, married men, white guys, Indians, Jews, Muslims, priests. It didn't matter, bro. Evil came and comes in all different sizes. The show was canceled. If anybody can find out how many episodes,
3 seasons.
3 seasons.
Yeah.
And by the way, there was one every week, and they had no shortage of pedophiles. It was canceled in 2008, following the suicide of Rockwell County, Texas, Assistant District Attorney Bill Conrad, as police attempted to serve him a search warrant after he had been caught talking to and exchanging pictures with a perverted justice volunteer. Posing as a 13-year-old boy, he apparently shot himself as the cops and the NBC crew ran into his home. He ended his life. So they had to cancel the show because, they sued and all that stuff. But I think, listen, like I said, this guy wasn't arrested. I think it's a serious problem. And I commend these guys for at least exposing them. I hope if it's him in the next couple of days, if he's not in jail, bro, I'm going to be very, very upset.
And one last thing.
Yeah.
Because we go like, there's some guys, this is a problem or whatever. This thing is by design.
Yes.
Okay, this is part of the left. In 1977, all the fathers of gender theory, queer theory, and whatever, they signed a petition to bring the age of consent down.
Yeah, of course.
Because it's part of the left. You want to break the nuclear family, and you want people to be vulnerable. And nothing will make you more vulnerable than being abused as a child. You're easy to control. And then you see what's going on. So this is not random. This is not like an evil thing. This is strictly political.
I believe it. Look at Amanda Bynes. Look at Britney Spears. Look at
Corey
all.
Feldman was the original. He started. That guy was hanging out with Michael Jackson, who may or may not have touched kids, but all of the evidence indicates multiple things. I mean, the guy had a theme park in his backyard called Neverland.
That's
because he
pretty
never
sus.
and he would sleep in bed with children and give them wine that they called Jesus juice.
Oh my!
And yet people still defended him. But Corey Feldman hung around Michael Jackson, started dressing and acting like Michael Jackson. Like hypothetically, if Michael Jackson abused Corey Feldman then identified with his abuser, right? Started dressing like his abuser, acting like his abuser, started doing music like his abuser. Did he then also take those abuser traits and also do the things that were done to him to other people? Because you look at people who are victimized, when you see these reports of children that are molested, that are raped, you know what they go and do? They also then go and they pass that on to someone else.
Of course
they also molest and rape. Yep. So it's like it's a problem that needs to be seeded out from society. That's why when we go back to your original point, execute them. I'm all for it.
I love
and if I may, one more thing on it being by design. What is that one artist like Old Town Road, like X or something like that?
Yeah,
like
Lil Nas X.
Yes, he was making music for little kids, and then like what? Just a few months later, he's now having sex with the devil on stage. It's like you get the kindergartens, these young children to listen to your music, and then you're having sex with the devil.
By the way,
it's like
brilliant on their end because that's what they do. They suck
bait
them
and
in.
switch like Taylor Swift.
Yeah, bait and switch, Taylor Swift, around. All right, guys, moving on to the next story. Did you guys hear about the students in California at the private school?
Oh, yeah.
Did you heard about this, Savannah?
Yes.
So for you guys that don't, 2 teens that were kicked out of their elite California Catholic school while falsely accused of wearing blackface have been jointly awarded more than $1 million after proving it was just a green acne face mask. The then students at St. Francis High School in Mountain View were just 14 when they took a photo during a sleepover in 2017 of them wearing the treatment in solidarity with the friends suffering from severe acne, their lawsuit said. The treatment, bought by one of the boys' mom, was light green when applied, then turned dark green once dry. Their selfie went viral 3 years later when it was found that Wiley shared during the height of the Black Lives Matter protest. Weird. They were going for everybody back then. Following the 2020 murder of George Floyd. The students, identified as AH and HH in the lawsuit, were awarded $500,000 each and will have their $70,000 tuition reimbursed.
Well, that's one way to make money in this country.
Yeah. But how do you feel about it?
I think it's absolutely ridiculous. And this, more than anything, just highlights how we don't have any real problems in the United States of America. If this is what we're targeting our children for, right? We continuously make up these fake stories of racism. I'm sorry, I'm going to call it what it is here. This is something that we've seen time and time again, specifically with 2020 and George Floyd. The entirety of the Black Lives Matter movement for that year was based on a lie. If you look at how Black Lives Matter is faring right now, Patrice Coolers was buying $1 million homes, and it was basically like the BLM profiting or the BLM leaders profiting off of this movement. So the entire thing was based off of a lie. People's lives were ruined. We are seeing a very anti-white sentiment in this country to the point where now it's okay to say, I hate white people, and it's applauded and it's laughed at in society. And then you can go and target white students and ruin their lives. There was another similar story of
the Sandman. Sandman, the other kid, the white kid that have he was partial Indian, and he had a half red, half black painted face, and he just got. Is his family suing too?
I don't know, but he was actually partially Native American.
Yeah,
as well.
Yeah,
it's a team.
Yeah, and he did. The family of the 9-year-old kid that was photographed, they sued Deadspin.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's this ridiculous movement that's been continuing to happen. I remember reading about a college student who was basically falsely accused of racism in high school, actually. And then she lost her college scholarship. This happened to her by another black student. She lost her college scholarship. Her entire career, or I guess future career, was ruined. I've seen so many stories of this, and it's a big issue in our society right now.
I think so too, and it's just they jumped the gun, which they obviously always do. But I'm happy. These are such good feel, like the Sandman kid. He's just sitting there smiling while they're beating the drum. They're acting crazy. CNN jumped all over it, and they paid the price. That kid is filthy rich. Kyle Rittenhouse, ridiculously rich. Think about it. Kyle Rittenhouse, because we all saw the footage. He was carrying the gun. They all jumped him. 2 of the guys that were beating him up, they're like pedophiles and rapists. It's like, what? He did us a favor. Good for him, bro. Good for you. And did one of them pull out a gun?
Yeah,
I think
he
with a
did.
blood gun, he shot him in his arm, but
Allegedly.
Yeah,
And
allegedly.
Nick Sadman, he sued for $275 million. I don't know. They did settle the lawsuit, so I don't know what that is. But
100 mil?
Imagine your face was on TV for 30 seconds. It was spread all over the globe, though, after those 30 seconds. And then you get a $150 million payday.
Oh, dude, like that kid's face is so recognizable, and that's the problem. Now that you put it on there, now if you see that face, that kid with that hat, racist, hates blood, like his life is ruined. By the way, he's not going
he deserves
anywhere.
that $150 million. He could buy his own island where he never has to see anybody.
And
call him
you know,
racist.
they might win lawsuits and whatever, but these cases are never amended. Like, I remember the case in NASCAR for Bubba Wallace.
Oh,
Bubba
gosh.
Wallace.
Yeah, and
the noose.
the noose. That was the thing to close the door, the garage door. Then you have Juicy Smollett. You know?
Juicy Smollett.
Like, I looked up the articles. They never, ever walked back what happened there. Nobody knows. And he just started losing support slowly. They stopped talking about it and whatever. The same thing with the NASCAR thing. Well, the other NASCAR guy that liked a spicy meme, he also got reprimanded. Like, this is out of control. Like, they don't even need someone to blame anymore.
She made a great. Not to cut you off, Taylor.
Yeah.
You made a really, really good point. They're looking for something because nothing really, nothing's going that bad. Yeah, we have problems now. Every freaking country has problems, but like you said, they're looking for something to divide us and make it more than it's what it really is.
Exactly, and that's very emotional because it's like emotional trigger. So they're trying to like tackle people's emotions on these things that aren't as big of a problem. And to your point, cool, they got money, but their reputation was like dragged through the mud. So I mean, at what point is the financial means that they ended up getting on the back end is great, but what about the years of torment and death threats? I mean, could you imagine when Kyle Rittenhouse and his family actually went through to do that?
Oh, and what do you mean? For the rest of his life, he's gonna have security for the rest of his life
for something that ended up being proven innocent for, but like you said, it's never corrected. And on the last point of those kids with the face mask, I mean, like, honey, I have the same face mask. Like, I've done that
Works
before.
wonders for the
it's
skin.
like ridiculous.
And by the way, Kelly, do you have that photo? Kelly has the actual photo. The mom, there it is. The mom, that's the photo of the cream. And by the way, me and Kelly are going to buy that same exact cream, and I'm going to do it. Let's see if I get in trouble because I'm trying to do blackface.
Well, if you do, then run for president of Canada because it doesn't seem to be a problem if you dress in blackface, Justin Trudeau,
Or be
on multiple occasions, too.
Oh, yeah.
Or you can be a TV host.
Yeah, why not?
like
Or you
Jimmy
can be
Kimmel.
Howard Stern. Nobody
Yeah.
ever talks about Howard Stern, and I love him to death. I do. I loved
Howard
growing
Stern.
up. He dressed as Whoopi Goldberg
Oh,
and did blackface with and Sherman Helmsley was like Ted Danson. And this is like he did blackface multiple times. Used the N-word multiple
With the
times.
accent, too.
I mean, he used to use the N-word on his show daily.
Yeah.
And then he went on The View and went, "No, I've never said the N-word on my show."
Yeah.
He scrubbed it from the internet.
Scrubbed
and
it.
now he's the left's darling. He interviewed the
Joe
dementia-ridden Joe Biden,
Yeah.
and everybody applauded the interview. Look,
Yeah.
Joe Biden can stay awake for an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Yeah, he didn't pass out. By the way, Jimmy Kimmel, too. How many blackface?
Oh, yeah.
He did Black Body.
Karl Malone.
He did Karl Malone and
Oprah.
talked like he was dumb.
What do they have in common?
They're all liberals. They're all leftists, and they all get away with it. But guess what? They could kiss my ass. All right, guys. Moving on.
They probably would want to.
Yeah. Next story. Savannah. Immigration in America. I know this is a topic that you freaking touch and you report on. Please let us know what's happening.
Yeah, sure. So I was in New York City about 3 weeks ago, and I was covering that crisis because, since the start of the illegal immigration crisis in the United States of America, it really was a lot of those border cities that were getting hit, right? It was a lot of the states that were like, hey, maybe we should close the border. Maybe we shouldn't be implementing a lot of these democratic policies. Having an open border for a country, never a good idea. Now, of course, the same Democrats and liberals that were applauding this usually applaud it from way up north in the country, like in New York. So now that the crisis is hitting New York, I really wanted to highlight this because, for example, Mayor Eric Adams is really walking back a lot of his claims regarding sanctuary cities, regarding wanting open borders, regarding welcoming immigrants into New York, I guess, because the illegal immigration has gotten so bad. For example, at the start of this, there was... When I first started, I want to say like 30,000 illegal immigrants that made their way up to New York City.
Okay.
So this was maybe at the end of 2021. Now in 2024, we're looking at over 175,000 illegal immigrants that are in that city. If you look at this from a monetary standpoint, because like I said, I like to really investigate how this impacts Americans on top of illegal immigrants being in their city, how much money they're spending on this. It was originally slated that they were going to be spending about $1 billion. Again, these were the figures.
B with billion.
1 billion. These were the figures at the end of 2021, right? Just for New York. They're now slated to spend $12 billion through 2025 on these illegal immigrants. And what this money is being spent on, by the way, is free hotel rooms, free plane tickets, free child care, free medical care. So basically, if you're an illegal immigrant who crossed into our country, you can come and give birth to your anchor baby. They'll send you to the hospital. They'll give you a free car seat, anything that you need for your child. And again, the citizens of New York are paying for this. And I love going up there because you see so many liberals that are like, yeah, this was a horrible idea and I don't like this. And then also, like I said, too, their governor and their mayor, who were very much at the forefront of wanting the illegal immigration crisis to be allowed to prosper, now having to face the music essentially and walking back their claims. So New York, absolutely insane. Here's a quick video that I took outside of St. Bridget's, which is a city center, right? We just talked about those 12 billions. Yep. This is an example of what those 12 billion are going to if we want to play this video.
This whole entire area was filled with migrants back here. And as soon as we started filming, they're now moving them all inside because they don't want us to see what's going on in New York City. Now, I want to highlight these signs as well. They say, did you know you can book your ticket to travel anywhere outside New York City? No need to wait in line, just total front door staff. You'd like to get a travel ticket.
Oh, wow. Just letting them know, just fly in here. Who gives a damn?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different languages up there. So you have multiple people from multiple countries being offered free tickets out of New York City. And again, this whole area was just filled with migrants. But as soon as we got here and we started trying to speak to them, they're all gone now.
So the interesting thing, too, about this is we were seeing a lot of Venezuelans come in. We're actually seeing people from all over the world, but now it's a lot of African migrants. And again, I'm just going to be honest. I don't like the fact that in the United States of America, I can't converse with somebody in English. English should be the primary language of this country. Our Constitution is written in English. And this is another issue as well that I've continued to face in Texas specifically, right? I'll have an Uber driver. He'll come pick me up. As a woman, I think for safety purposes, I should be able to converse with my Uber, and I typically can't because I don't speak Spanish. Now, I think that more than anything, this highlights the fundamental disintegration of the United States of America, where you have an entire class of people that are coming in with different values, with a different culture, with different languages. Granted, we are a melting pot, right? We are a country of immigrants, if you will. But what is happening right now is completely unsustainable. You have had, 10.5 million illegal immigrants come across the border since Joe Biden has taken office. You have human trafficking going on, essentially. You have 85,000 children that have been lost under the Biden administration as a direct result of the border policy. A lot of these kids, by the way, are working in factories for big corporations against child labor laws. So this is just a huge issue. I mean, I know we're going to be touching on this too, but like the cartels as well completely own our border. I've spoken to National Guardsmen who say that the cartels will leave dead bodies on the U.S. side of the border as an intimidation tactic. So it's absolutely insane. And then the attitude of these migrants is so entitled. We'll play one more video here. Or actually, if you just want to play this one too, we can play this one. Sorry about that. My bad, my friends. Let's just play this quick video of, again, some of the entitlement that we are getting from these immigrants in terms of them using our taxpayer dollars.
Yes. They give me a ticket for free to Chicago. I fly tomorrow.
For free?
For free.
Why are you going to Chicago?
I try to find any work because I'm homeless immigrant from Russian Federation. Yo, my name is Mark Miriam.
You're from Russia?
Yeah.
Who gave you the ticket to go to Chicago?
Chicago, no, this special government service company, they try to help new people, new immigrants who come.
You're excited to go to Chicago?
Yeah, because I want to see new city. It will be, I want to feel new vibe, new atmosphere, and maybe try to find new contacts, new friends.
So you were in New York for 1 year.
Yes.
And now you got a free ticket, and now you're going to go to Chicago.
Da. And then after Chicago, I'm going to Los Angeles because it was my first city in my life before New York.
Did you get a free ticket to go to Los Angeles as well?
Yeah, if I ask them. But at this moment, I
maybe
one friend in Chicago, and it will be new.
So we can cut this video off here.
So
but
Savannah, can I ask you a question? What I know in my heart why. Why do you think this past 3 years has been just a complete disregard of the border from Mayorkas to the top down to letting them all come in? By the way, and it used to be, I love it. I love how everyone was just like, he's talking Mexicans and Mexicans. It's far beyond Mexicans. It's Venezuelans. It's Russians. It's Ukrainians. It's Africans. It's people. Everybody's coming here. I want to know your opinion because I almost feel like it's remember in the War of the Worlds where the aliens started strategically setting up their pieces and then at one point it was attack time?
Yeah.
What do you think? What's the end? What's the goal of it? It's not humanitarian.
Yep, it's destabilization of the United States of America. I think that the people in power do not care about the American people at all. I mean, we have even heard the rhetoric from a lot of mainstream media, from some of our highest politicians about how Western nations and the people who founded our countries are bad. And we have seen the continued destabilization of this. And we're in election year, right? It's 2024. We have Donald Trump versus Joe Biden. And we have a lot of states with really relaxed election laws. Now, I've gone and I've asked a lot of these illegal immigrants, if you could vote, who would you vote for? And I'll let you take a wild guess, Vinny.
Oh, God.
It's going to be hard.
I wish the Jeopardy music was playing right now. Hold on. Joe Biden?
Yep.
No, Jose Biden.
Yeah, there we go. There we go.
Southern America.
Exactly. So they're going to be voting for Joe Biden. We talk about this so often, how they're importing voters. But even outside of the election, I really view this as a destructuring. There we go.
Okay.
Sorry. A dismantling of the United States of America, really, and our values, our culture. It's really heartbreaking to see.
It's not bad. What's up, Roberto? Are you mad?
I couldn't even finish watching the video.
I know. I saw your head
Are
shaking.
you going to get canceled again?
I will get canceled again. This is bullshit, okay?
Yep.
I'm the only legal immigrant here in the panel.
Yeah.
I did everything right.
Yep.
I went to school, got my degree, got higher education, fucking saved up money, got a lawyer, came here, threw the way.
Yep.
I need to renew my visa every other year.
Yep.
You know, I need to pay like thousands of dollars every time I call the lawyer. Like, I've done everything right in my life.
Yep.
My reason for moving here is not economical, it's ideological. Like, I think after the Bible, I think, you know, the Constitution is the best document and the most important document ever written. Like, I literally moved to this country because of the Constitution. That's my, like, I
believe it.
Like, I have pictures of the founding fathers around my house.
Yeah.
I love the freaking flag.
Yeah.
I speak English, you know, like as a second language, but I do it.
Yeah.
You know, I've been obsessed with America because it's such a great experiment, you know. It's the greatest nation that ever lived,
Yeah.
you know. And then I see all this. That Russian dude
Pissing me off. I saw you
know
get
what
mad.
I would do, Vinny?
Yeah.
You know what I would do? I will grab those signs.
Yeah.
Okay. Change the number, change the email, and change it to Gaza. Instead of LA, I'm gonna send them to Gaza so they can struggle there.
Yeah.
And all these people, like especially Venezuelans, like I'm married to a Venezuelan, so like I love them all. But the last 5-6 years, they've been literally opening up their prisons and sending the worst of the worst. You know, back home in Chile. They send so many. Like, I mean, Chile's a very small country. Like, and this is what's gonna happen to America. Like, I'm telling you. Like, we were 18 million. They sent 2 million Venezuelans there.
Wow.
And it's a disaster. The murder rate was like, I don't know, maybe 1 every week.
Yeah.
And now we have 100 murders a week.
Jeez.
Humberto, and can I just highlight too that again, what you're talking about right now is that you assimilated to the country, right? You care about the United States of America, and a lot of the, I guess, mindset of these migrants is that they want the country, like they basically are coming here to bleed the U.S. dry, and then they still want to keep their flag. They're still flying their flag.
Yes.
They still want to keep their culture, their ideals, and they basically want the U.S. to look like their country.
So it's not assimilation like him; it's an invasion.
It's an invasion.
It's an invasion.
Invasion.
There we go.
Okay.
What pisses me off about the Russian guy? I work 4 jobs, and that guy's traveling more than I am. Like, he gets to see the entire U.S. on my tax dollars.
Yeah, you're paying for it. Go ahead. Go ahead.
You, who is a veteran of the United States of America, and I've seen the problems that you've had with the VA, just you alone, and that's my one experience with a veteran, because I don't know a lot of them, and seeing the trouble you've gone through. Guess how much the immigration problem costs the United States taxpayers every single year?
By the way, as you're saying that too, we just heard a jet fly over. That's another freaking $100,000. Wait, how much? How much
does the illegal immigration problem cost the United States government every year?
Every year, okay, going off of her number, every year, $10 billion.
150.7 billion yearly cost for illegal immigration. Do you know that the entire budget for the VA for veterans, how much the United States pays for veterans health care every year? $119 million. So we're spending almost $40 billion. I'm sorry, $119 billion. But we're still spending over $40 billion more paying for people to invade our country than we are to take care of the people who fought to defend the freedoms of this country.
It's the saddest thing. And thanks, Rob, for recognizing that. You guys have no idea how much I walk around, and I'm just like on the phone. Like, mind you, I'm paying for my own dental because they don't cover. You're not covered for that. But the amount of shit that I have to go through as somebody that signed up, joined, and put his life on the line. Meaning, if they call and they say, "Vinny, go that way," I was going. My brother joined. My sister just retired, and to see that happening, bro. If you guys walk into just an average VA, it's the saddest shit you've ever seen. And they're giving these people hotel rooms. They're giving them credit cards with money on it. Meanwhile, there's the majority of these homeless people are they're veterans and they're dying.
This is a fucking joke. My first experience with veterans. I came here when I was 17, turning 18. I went to community college because I was too young to go into actual college. And I was, in San Diego, near the base there. So I had a lot of Marines that were coming back from Afghanistan.
Deployment.
I think at that time. And kids my age, a little bit older, maybe 25, 26, missing limbs. Like that year that I was doing community college, it was 2 guys that off themselves that year. That's because freedom is not free. And the sacrifices that are made to keep this country running as it is. Yeah. Millions of Americans have died fighting for freedom, since the American Revolution, and they're not grateful for that, And they don't understand why. Now, I think in general, the problem is, first of all, the foreign policy of the United States when it comes to South America, it's been super weak. Okay, instead of having a trading partner, something that is right in our door, we're not doing anything with them. We're importing things from China, making them more powerful because that's a true enemy. At least all South America, North America is a Western society. We're colonized by the same kind of people that, God-fearing, mostly Christians. The cultures are similar. Okay, but we have nothing to do with the Russians, nothing to do with the Chinese, and it's a shame. And the other thing is that this is on us, as center of right media. We're not doing enough. Okay, CNN, they have a Spanish operation that doesn't use in Spanish. So the same lies and the same bullshit that they do in English, they do it in Spanish. Not only that, they have a local CNN channel for every South American country. So everyone that speaks Spanish and doesn't speak English, they're hearing the news from MSNBC, they're hearing the news from CNN. And so they're pre-brainwashed before they move in here.
They're telling them, Come here and vote for us. You can do it. Come.
And even though I'm not a big fan of Fox News, they're the biggest ones. According to ratings, and I would rather them listen to neocon Fox News bullshit. No, I'm sorry, but that's what it is.
Pick one or two evils.
But then the CNN lie. So I think we need to put our big boy pants on and get serious about communication to them because they're already here. It's very hard for them to leave. So we better start talking to them and see their mind.
That's a great
if they bring their South American, African bullshit here, that shit doesn't fly and get with the program.
Because that's a great point. The number that I heard from someone that's pretty freaking deep involved in, Homeland Security and all that stuff. The real number, it's not 8 million, it's not 50. It's going to be 20 to 22 million when this 4 years is done. You're not getting rid of them. You're not getting rid of them. If Trump wins, if there's one video of agent grabbing one kid, it's over. Go back to your country. So guess what? You made a great point. How are you going to convert those people to vote for the other side? But anyway, moving on to the next story. Rob G. Trump kill squads? What are we talking about?
Well, the good news is I brought my big boy pants.
I love pants
for this segment.
Because nobody don't wear them.
Wearing pants.
This fantastic art. Look at that photo. Oh, I love it.
Look at him.
Beautiful man.
My favorite.
Get out.
Coming for you, cartels.
Yeah.
Take a look at this next slide, if you could, Kelly. This is up at VT.com, written by the very funny Connor Walcott.
Connor Walcott. Connor.
Divine.
Yeah, one half of Shonner, our writing team at VT.com. The article, Donald Trump wants to use U.S. kill teams to assassinate cartel leaders in Mexico.
Good.
According to Rolling Stone, who spoke with 3 sources that are close to President Trump, including at least one Republican lawmaker, Donald Trump is currently toying with the idea of deploying covert American Special Forces units into Mexico to disrupt cartel operations and assassinate gang leaders.
Good. By the way, good.
Yeah.
And I dare people to be like, well, that's an act of war. They're at war with us. You know how many people does fentanyl kill a year?
Oh,
how
I can actually tell you that because
please look that up, guys. How much fentanyl? How many? 2 of my friends, okay, Rico and Fu, were poisoned at a party. Yeah, they did a bump of cocaine. Dead. Both of them dead.
2002, 107,941 Americans died from fentanyl.
What year?
2022. Okay,
that's 1 year, and I'm not putting all the blame on the cartel. I know China is big on fentanyl, but any country that's putting shit into this country, that's killing our Americans, that's trafficking our kids, guess what? War. It's war, and I love that. By the way, and again, we're tactical, we're strategic. We'll go in there, pick those bitches off left and right. With our technology, bro, we can take out anybody we want, whenever we want. Guys, don't sleep. All these people that don't think that we have the technology, they can follow you right now, and they know where you are, where your kids are, where your family is. If there's any innocent people in the house, they're not stupid. They can read body heat of everybody in the house.
That's right, Vinny. On healthcare for the cartels.
God, yeah, exactly.
On healthcare. On healthcare.
I say F anybody, and again, and that's why when you talk about the border, and that's why I get so angry about people like Mayorkas is just sitting there in Congress smiling like the freaking rat that he is. If your attitude and you're in charge is wide open border, everybody come in, and one American dies, you are my enemy. Alejandro Mayorkas is the enemy of the United States.
One is too many.
All these people, anybody that says, come on in, and somebody in her family or my cousin or somebody dies, you are my fucking enemy. End of story. I'm done with it. Dude.
Over.
That's the attitude that you have to have. It's like, what do we... Guys, if we don't start talking up, if we don't have this freaking attitude of enough is enough, they just keep clawing and clawing and clawing, and we ain't doing shit. People are just doing this. We have to get angry. People are like, why are you always upset? I'm like, am I the only one that's getting fucking mad? Like,
no, Trump is.
You see that?
Then it's going to get to a point. Then it's going to get to a point which they want civil unrest. Everything's crazy. Then we all start fighting, and they're like, okay, guys, martial law. You guys can't take care of yourselves anymore. We got to step in. And what's going to cause it is illegals, the law, the people, the cheating, the fucking lying. And that's when the shit's going to hit the fan.
And Vinny, I'm not a prude. My preference is not, it's not killing. Like, I'm all for killing cartel members. They're scumbags. Now, my problem is who they kill from the cartels, because they were running operations throughout the night. Like, fuck this bullshit war on drugs. It was always fake. Always fake. They never did anything. It just got worse. But when they ran operations during the early 2000s, they killed a lot of like heads of the cartels there. And that, because you know, cartels are like a company. You have a CEO, then you have a second in line, third in line. So if you kill the head of the snake, the second guy in line sometimes is more ruthless. And we've been seeing in Mexico especially, you know, the last 5 to 10 years, violence has been escalated. You have the Jalisco New Generation cartel. Yep. That is a new cartel that was created because, you know, they yeeted a few cartel heads. Yep. And the situation gotten worse because those old school cartel guys, I'm not defending them, those old school cartel, they had rules, you know, like Pablo Escobar had rules. They had a code of conduct. You don't kill tourists. You don't kill civilians. This is cartel and cartel violence, and we do it that way. You know, ruthless, but cartel and cartel. Yeah. And now they're taking it to the street. They're killing tourists. They just killed 3 or 2 Australian tourists last week that were having a surf trip in Mexico. So I think we need to be, I am all for it because Mexico is out of control. Their president is a scumbag,
he's
socialist, disgusting.
Yeah,
he's a jerk. He's disgusting. And he's talking to you see how he talks to the United States?
Yeah, like where's bitches now?
The goal on that guy. If you guys don't send money, this is going to get worse.
Just like,
who the fuck are you, Mexican guy?
Who the fuck are we? We have a weak leader. That's our
That's
problem.
what I was going to say,
we have a leader like this that's literally saying, hey, knock it the fuck off or we're going to bomb you and use military deployments and covert assassinations, including drone strikes that'll be conducted with or without approval from the Mexican government. Trump is not just doing it to combat the fentanyl crisis. it's also to go after the illegal immigration crisis as well, because a lot of these people that are being smuggled into this country are being done so by the cartel leaders.
Yep.
So he's going on at this from both fronts, whereas right now our administration does nothing, and our president gets talked to like a bitch on the world stage. He is like right now. Remember when Will Smith slapped Chris Rock in the face?
Yeah.
And everybody like that blew. That is what happens to our president on a daily basis when it comes to foreign policy, and we Americans just sit here and go, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, he gets
the Kardashians wearing it.
100%. And on that point, when you talk about it's an act of war. People are going to say it's an act of war. President Trump saying that, but it's also like that's the level of unpredictability you need in a leader. Like actually, if you were to juxtapose Biden and Trump, who's had more violence among different countries? It's the person that is not saying, hey, we're going to kill them, we're going to bomb them. It was President Trump who said nothing's off the table that left a level of unpredictability that other countries didn't want to mess with him. And so I would rather a leader that's willing to threat violence in opposed to one that's saying, oh, peace, love, as there's no peace and love.
Yeah, what do you think?
Exactly. I mean, if you look at right now, even Middle Eastern relations, look at our relationship with Iran, look at our relationship with Russia. Under Donald Trump, I mean, this man was going to North Korea and meeting with Kim Jong-un.
And who shook his hand and slapped him.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's so many videos that I'm seeing right now, too, of Donald Trump. Like, I think in Saudi Arabia, you're not supposed to touch the crown prince.
Ever.
Right? And it's just like everyone's making videos like, Trump was a G. We need this type of leader back in the United States of America. If you want to be respected on the world stage, then you have to be able to be respected on the world stage. And right now we're not, like you said.
Yeah, and it's by the way, and it's not getting any better, dude. He the other day I saw a video where Biden stood there. He looked like he shit in his pants. And then there's another one where...
Did you see the meme that people did after that? It was like where they actually put shit falling out of him as he was frozen.
I love it.
I saw this meme and it was like, I have a 2-year-old. I know what that stance means.
Yeah, he's just shitting in his pants. Dude, and it's so sad. This guy is barely... He just interviewed with CNN too. He's falling apart. I don't know, by the way, I don't know if it was his, like a clone, his chin was different.
Is that the same one where he said that he didn't care that in groceries were 30% more because Americans could afford it? Yeah, you know why Americans can afford it? Because we've had to take second and third jobs because of inflation running rampant. And this whole time, he's like, I don't want to talk about inflation. Let's talk about shrinkflation. Yeah. And then the way he says is so creepy. Let's talk about getting less in the bag, less popcorn. Yeah.
And
like,
Robert,
I'm watching him and I'm like, this is what my Nana would talk about when we put her in a home because she had dementia. And this guy's the leader of the free world.
Yeah.
I just want to jump in too, because I think just yesterday Joe Biden was saying that inflation when he got into office was 9%. A little bit, he was like, oh, it's at 9%. It was at 1.4%, I believe. And so it's just like, everything's gotten categorically worse. And it's fun for Karine Jean-Pierre to go up in front of the United States of America and lie to us every single day.
Oh, yeah.
But you can't lie to us about the fact that we can't buy food for our children. Remember the formula shortage in the United States under Joe Biden? Why are we having so many food shortages? And the media loves to blame COVID and continue to say like, oh, this is because of COVID. No, it's because of bad leadership.
Yeah. Oh, and you know why all the supply chains are happening? Because the guy that's in head of transportation, Pete Buttigieg, is banging a dude all the time, his husband, and having babies, not from him, and they're having 3-month maternity leave. It's like, bro, what the... Remember when he went on maternity leave? Everything went wrong. Everything's falling. By the way, he is doing the worst job of any transportation secretary I've ever seen in my life. Bro, stop banging your husband, come to work, do your fucking job. Who's this?
To your point real quick, everybody does. They go back and they blame COVID-19 for the food prices, inflation.
Bullshit.
Okay.
The immigration.
If COVID-19 was what caused us to be in the predicament that we are in today, why are we not figuring out what caused it? Right? Like a global pandemic disrupts the entire world. Okay, and it's still doing it today, 5 years later. Why are we not then holding those people who created that virus and released that virus accountable instead of going, well, it came from a bat and it's racist to say otherwise?
Yeah. Well, you know exactly.
Don't worry about it. It's revenge season soon.
No, but revenge season soon. But he makes a great point. It is 2024. We could like chronologically find out anything where everything started, dinosaurs. You mean to tell me?
Great point, dinosaur.
Yeah, we
figure that out.
We know what dinosaur, what it ate, if it spoke, what it looked like, its scales. You mean to tell me we still can't say? I'm going to say it. The virus came from China in a lab in Wuhan that we ran experiments with Dr. Fauci, with NIH, with that EcoHealth Alliance bullshit. It leaked my ass because they're saying there's reports that in 2019 they were having the World Military Games and soldiers that were there, all the military, all the soldiers that they compete, they were sick and they were getting symptoms of it then. Guys, nothing is as it seems. It's all bullshit. And if we can't say, all right, guys, this is where the problem came from and fix it, another one is going to happen. There's already bird flu breaking out, and they're saying that it's going to jump from animals to people. Guys, these people, and I've said this again, I've said this on the past podcast, I think it was the last one we were on. The they that Biden talks about cannot let Trump win. Let that sink in for a second. They cannot do it, okay? They're scared of him. They know what the hell he's going to do. This lawfare shit ain't working. And by the way, they're going to pull out all the stops. No, I'm not a fear-mongering guy, but guess what? Put on your seatbelt, put on the second one, put on your fucking helmet, because this is going to be a crazy 6 months, and it's not going to get any better. All right, guys, moving on. Taylor, speaking of the devil, Joe Biden's taxes. Talk about it, please. Get us madder that we already are.
Yes.
Look at all those $100 bills Kelly has on that. I haven't seen that. And you know how many years I haven't seen that many hundreds in a row?
Well, you should check your Monette statement because I see that you're making
Yes, and did you hear the news? You know, Uncle Sam is coming for more of your money. And it's both in Canada and the U.S. They introduced a new capital gains tax where Canada is now going to be 66.7% as of June 25th for anything over $250,000. The U.S., starting in 2025, that was passed in our $7.3 trillion budget, is the capital gains tax is going to be 50% or higher. So what does this mean? What does this mean to business owners? And is the government going to take more of investors and business owners' hard-earned money after they've already risked it? After most of this money is already taxed, you know what I mean? And people say, well, we got to tax the rich, tax the rich. But for perspective, the top 50% of income earners in the U.S. pay 97.7% of all federal taxes. The bottom 50% pay 2.3%. And then when you look at historically, when it comes to the capital gains tax, 12.5% was originally, all the way up to a high of 35%. This will be the highest capital gains tax in all of history that's going to be going forward, starting in 2025. So my question is, what impact does this have to the future of our economy? But also, what does it have in the conception that we are a free market economy and a capitalistic country?
Savannah, what you thinking?
I think that honestly, the biggest black pill as a business owner in the United States is realizing the more successful you are, the more money the government takes away from you. And our government is structured right now not to promote entrepreneurialism, but to instead hamper it, right? And also, too, something that I've noticed is that like a lot of the people that are promoting communism or socialism or even that like tax the rich, eat the rich type of mentality are lazy people who don't work, are lazy people who don't create, are lazy people who don't want to be a part of society. They just want to take, because you will realize that when it comes to the average business, that business owner is employing 100 other people. They're creating this entire ecosystem. And so regarding what you're talking about with this capital gains tax, it's like, it's baffling to me that the average person doesn't know that if you make over $600,000 a year, I believe, 40% of that money goes to taxes. And I think that the reason why our education system is so bad is so the average American doesn't understand how big of an amount that is, right? Yeah. So I really think, like, again, it's so crazy to see how our government utilizes all these different pieces of our society and life to just make us dumber and make it so that they can keep taking our money and we don't understand what's happening.
And we don't even understand where it's going, right? We're like $32 trillion in debt. We get about $4 trillion in tax revenue a year. You think I'm going to trust the government to take more of my money when you were just associating $150 billion to illegal immigrants? We have money going every which way and $1,000 omnibus package bills. And you want more of my money from money that I used that was already taxed. I mean, how many times can they really tax the dollar?
Taxes on taxes. I mean, I just sent Kelly a video. Maybe we're not going to play it. but just amazing. My favorite congressperson is Thomas Macy. I don't know.
He's probably the top number one. He's the guy that recorded the people in Congress waving in Ukrainian flag.
The best. Like,
he's the G.
He has a little pin here that's connected to Wi-Fi that it checks the National Reserve like to the cent.
The U.S. debt clock.
Yeah, and it goes up and it goes up. Okay, he released a video like 2 weeks ago when it was tax week.
Okay.
And he realized that the tax clock, it started going down for a little bit. And then he asked someone, an economist, he's like, hey, what's going on? It's the first time in my entire life that I see the thing go down for a little bit. Mm-hmm. And he was like, you know what week it is? He's like, yeah, it's tax week. So our taxes managed to put a ding and slow down his clock for the first time ever. Since he made the clock, it's the first time it slows down. And what is disgusting, and it makes me so mad, first year paying taxes, so I get to complain.
Your first year, congratulations.
Yeah.
Welcome. No.
Welcome. You're paying for illegals to eat and shit in our streets.
These guys, they made us pay taxes 1 week, and the next week they sent all the money to Ukraine and Israel. What's going on?
Hey, welcome to America. We've been getting screwed forever. And Umberto, this is the video of Massey, Thomas Massey.
Blew my mind.
Yeah, go ahead, play.
Love that guy.
I noticed something really interesting about the debt a couple of weeks ago. It's synced with Treasury, so my debt clock has Wi-Fi. I wrote all the code for it. It goes to Treasury once a day and gets the debt to the penny. They have an API where they publish it. You know, I'd been away from my Wi-Fi server for a while, and I go back in range, and it calibrates, and the number had gone down. Okay, I've been watching this thing spin up for a year, and the number went down. And I talked with some folks, and I'm like, do you realize the debt is going down? I've been watching it every day just spiral upward, and it went down. And one of them commented, well, do you know what this week is? It's April 15th. The reason the debt went down for 2 weeks is everybody paid their taxes.
Weird.
And now it's going back up again.
So it's not even denting shit or nothing.
And it's hard.
A little bit, and then...
And it goes to show, and it's like we're a free market capitalistic society, because who really creates the jobs? It is the business owners.
It's entrepreneurs.
And if they're paying up to over 50% capital gains tax, who's really navigating the money? It's the government. So the conception of a free market capitalistic society is skewed, because if they're paying all that they are, it's going to the government to go, who even knows where the money's going? And what is it also doing? It's decentivizing people to want to get into business. I literally posted it, and a lot of our clients that work with Bet David Consulting that are in Canada, they're like, Florida, here we come. Because why would you want to give 66.7% of your money that you've already risked to give other people jobs to give to the government that is doing who even knows?
What do you mean?
It's ridiculous.
All bad. What the hell are they doing that's good?
Taylor, I'm going to go a step further. Anyone that has money and has a non-financial business, like a business that doesn't depend on interest and money and, like investing, is a saint. They're like literally heroes, because there's no business that is brick and mortar, like, a restaurant, maybe a supermarket, whatever, that will pay the dividends that an investing business will pay. Mm-hmm. It's impossible. Like most restaurants, they get 3%, profits. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you really need to want people working. You really need to love food and restaurants. And it's literally charity. Like if you already have, $2 million, $3 million, put them somewhere else, because people get sick. You need to wake up in the morning, move boxes and whatever. So we should not only be trying to get the taxes so more people make businesses. And we need to spotlight these people that move 100%. The economy, and they're literally heroes. Like whenever I see a businessman that makes it big and employs 100,000 people, they're true heroes. That's what it is.
100%. If I can give a plug to Bet David Consulting and Patrick, because we work directly with entrepreneurs from across the globe, and we say they're heroes. Like they literally risk everything. I talk to them every day. That's what I do for a job, and they're talking about employees leaving. They're down to their last cent, but they're still driving. They're still driving, and they're still growing and operating businesses. So shout out to the entrepreneurs. And if it weren't for you guys for risking everything, we wouldn't even have an economy.
No.
Yep.
See, and honestly, too, I always like to point to Donald Trump because he talks consistently about how everything that they're doing to him, they're ultimately going to do to you type thing, right? And they have come after Donald Trump for tax breaks specifically. And again, it's like, I think that's why the media does demonize him so much so that the average person doesn't really pay attention to how much the government is targeting and quite frankly, just trying to destroy this businessman because at the end of the day, that's what he is. And I wish people would look at him and realize that that's a reflection of their futures.
And is he not the only one who lost money after he became president versus most who get into Congress and make more wealth?
Yeah, and he donated all that. He didn't do listen, and that's why people at the end of the day need to take a step back. Besides the fact that, okay, he likes to be in front of camera and he's a narcissist, whatever the hell you guys want to call him, didn't make any money, name destroyed, family forever. His son Barron, who's a freaking amazing kid. Him and his friend Bo, shout out to Bo. But their lives for the rest of their lives, that name is going to be synonymous with what the mainstream media has made him out to be. People don't know shit about what's going on. They're like, oh, he's a crook, he's a felon. You don't know shit. Okay, they're all the politicians that you love are all pieces of shit. FYI, this guy's the only one that said he loved America, and they are destroying him in real time. And I want everybody to let that sink in and understand that one of the greatest, if not the greatest president in the history of this country is Donald Trump, because he didn't give a shit about anybody else and fought for us, and now look at his ass. He's about to get locked up in New York, and it was all for you guys. And everybody's like, oh, you just wanted the popularity. Go kick rocks. Anyway, last story, Umberto, Eurovision, I want to know what, talk to me. What, you looked so pissed off when I walked in here today, but you're like, this is going to be my best story, and I was excited, so go for it.
Okay, you know my distaste for Europeans.
You love Europe.
They are the worst. They're the worst. No wonder we left. Everything is terrible there. Houses are small. Food, portions are terrible.
Not
whatever.
A lot of dentists.
They don't have dentists. It's just Europe.
Yeah.
And this is like the Super Bowl of making fun of Europeans.
Okay.
It's called Eurovision.
And what is Eurovision?
Eurovision is singing, songwriting, kind of performing arts. It's a music contest. Every country selects one person to represent their country.
Okay.
And then they have a music contest that people call in and they vote. And the country.
I've never even heard of this.
Umberto, I was telling you before we started, I was like, I thought that this was a Netflix movie. I didn't even know it was a real thing.
Yeah,
but
I
it
didn't
is.
even know.
Well, great movie with Will Ferrell. Mm-hmm. Excellent movie. And when I was doing the research for this, I didn't think they went far enough because it's a comedy movie. I didn't think they went far enough. And I'm not sure if they're doing this for reals or they're making fun of Americans.
Okay, go ahead, because I'll tell you if it's real or not.
I know. Okay, first of all, as we've seen the trend lately, last time I did the Met Gala, now it's Eurovision.
Okay.
The immigrants that are coming in, mostly Muslims. You want to hear something funny?
What?
Okay, top 10 names in the UK right now is Mohammed, M-O-M, Mohammed.
Oh, no.
All the way to number 10. And I think it's Brady, or Brad, the first Western name there. Like 9 out of 10 names in the UK are Mohammed with different spellings.
What does that mean?
Oh, they got invaded. That's what it is.
They're there.
It happened to Europe all the time. The Spanish people had it, But anyhow, let's go to this video. These are these ungrateful immigrants that come to, the birthplace of Western civilization, and they don't vibe with Europop. So,
and where is it? Where is this?
This is right outside the stadium in Sweden.
In Sweden. Okay, go ahead, Kels. Oh, that looks like a concert that I'd love.
Lördagens demonstration mot Davis Cup-tennisen spårade ur totalt. Vid stadion försökte demonstranter slå sönder polisbilar med
but dude, what the hell? This is supposed to be a music festival?
So this is the most harmless music festival.
And who are these people on the right? Immigrants?
They're immigrants. They're protesting. They're protesters for Palestine because they allowed Israel, that they didn't know it was in Europe. They allowed Israel into the contest. Into the competition.
I mean.
Okay, so this is it. Fiery but mostly peaceful. You guys know the drill.
He's kicking him off in his face.
And this got so heated. Can we go to the next video? This got so heated because global warming. When things get heated, who do you call?
Oh, that's
who do you
hilarious.
call?
Julia, the bitch, that little
Here,
bitch.
she's running out of coffee.
I am sick and tired of this girl. Go,
Let's hit it.
play it so I
Come
can get
on.
mad at her,
Come on.
Kelly, please.
Yeah, that was Palestine.
It is outrageous and inexcusable for Eurovision to let Israel participate while committing a genocide. Yes, it's a song contest where Israel, a country that is currently committing a genocide in Gaza, are allowed to compete.
Look at her, she has no
Yeah,
idea.
that is a very clear example that does say that when a country accepts in a way that when a country behaves in a way that is unacceptable,
Look at her laughing.
then
Look at her little grin.
Eurovision excludes
She has
them.
no,
So
but like,
why
you know
not
what they
Israel?
do? They wheel this little annoying ass girl out for this cause, for climate change. Now she's pro Gaza. I want Greta Thunberg. Go to Gaza with your head uncovered. Go to Gaza just like that and talk your shit.
Yeah.
Talk your shit about it. Even go to Gaza and talk your shit about Israel and Gaza and see what happens to your little white ass.
So
annoying.
All the
I hate
fuss.
her.
They flew in Greta Thunberg. They flew in
Is
Ross.
David Hogg there?
They fly her in. They made her walk
On a
all the
private
way
jet?
there.
On a private jet?
No,
They
she's
made-
hold on. Before you say that, I'm not defending Greta Thunberg,
You
but
are.
she's from Sweden, and that's where the contest is held.
Yeah.
So that's why she didn't fly a private jet to get
So for the first time in her life, she didn't fly a private
Correct.
jet.
She
Okay,
probably
okay.
took a Humvee or some kind of other.
And by the way, the one that
Gas
I
guzzler.
want everybody to know this. When people can be like, "Oh my God, Video, you hate this little girl." She's not a little girl anymore. When they used her to do that, ecosystems are failing and crying and shit. She's a puppet for the left, just like David Hogg, that loser gun activist. Anyway, go ahead.
And
Go ahead.
we're just gonna show a brief segment of this song. This is what they're throwing rocks for.
Is this gonna be- this is a copyright or no?
Maybe just 3 seconds, so you guys can see like how like.
All right, Kelly, play it for 3
the-
seconds and then stop.
What the whole fuss is about.
The time goes by.
Just wait until they zoom out. There it is.
All right, pause it.
Pause it.
What is that?
You know, this is funny with Europeans. Like they make everything gay. You know, like,
no.
and necessarily gay. You know, like
Are those guys in there?
Yeah,
Can you use
those are
them
guys
into that?
hanging and moving their arms like this. You know, but this is old school. This is the funny stuff.
Yeah.
If we go to the next video,
Kelly, next video.
we can see the press, you know, standing up to power, standing up to Israel.
Go ahead.
This is right here. Hard-headed question.
All right,
You're a
hard-
journalist. You will know.
A personal question. Have you ever felt that by being here, you bring risk and danger for other participants and public?
She's the Israeli girl?
You don't have to answer that question if you don't want to.
Is she,
If you want to.
Do they think her presence being there brings a risk to
Well,
other?
that's a little bit of a threat.
Yeah, like are you
the
like?
jury's out.
Yeah, it's like a veiled threat. That's like,
Now,
don't you feel like other people are going to get injured because of you?
Now she didn't answer any questions like the question we've been asking for a while now.
Oh, which one? Well,
What the
now's
fuck
not the
happened?
time.
Yeah,
What
now's
happened on
not the
October?
time.
Yeah,
So,
October 7th. Still can't
Anyhow, I love what the people from Belgium. You call them Belgiumites? How do you call people from Belgium?
Belgian waffles.
Nobody cares. It's like an off-brand Holland. It's terrible. Half of them speak French. Worst country ever. They came up with French fries. That's the only.
Like my ancestry's from.
They're called
but I'm not going to
freedom
mention
fries.
that.
Freedom toast. They're called the freedom.
That's why they left.
America.
That's why they left because it's terrible.
Yeah.
And in a brave action, you know, they put this in front of the TV.
What is it?
Yeah, when Israel.
Can I read that? Kelly, can you put it on the big one so I can read it?
Yeah.
This is industrial action. We condemn the violations of human rights by the state of Israel. Oh, wow. Moreover, the state of Israel is destroying freedom of the press. That's why we interrupt the image for a moment. Stop the genocide. Wait. Oh, ceasefire now. Who put that up?
The Belgian television station.
On their channels in Belgium.
Their channel. Because
they don't want to show the girl.
This goes live to all the countries that I don't care about. And they put that live there.
Wow. So that's
solid.
basically them saying we don't support.
Yeah, they're sticking it to them with a black screen with text on it. I love it.
Okay, what's that?
And let's go to the participants. This lady right here from Ireland. She's literally a wish.
She's a witch?
She's a wish.
Wait, like Taylor Swift says she's
no.
a witch? Or like, real?
She's a real self-described witch. Well, let her do the talk.
Okay, let's see. Kelly, let's play this.
Do you know what makes me special? I'm a queer. And I'm a witch!
Oh, dude, time out. I 100% believe that bitch is a witch. Oh, Kelly, can you please play that one more time? Guys, but first of all, she's queer. Who's the guy behind her? I don't know, just her brother. I don't know who that guy is. But look at the craziness in her eyes when she says this. Kel, go ahead.
What makes me special? I'm a queer.
Listen.
And I'm a witch.
Oh, I believe her.
Robert, would you like more proof that she's a witch?
Rob?
Oh, I believe it.
Are you going to defend her too?
I got in a fight with MGK fans on Twitter last week because I said that he looks weird when he tattooed his entire body black. And these people that's like idolize, I almost said retards. I might as well just said it. Sorry. People that idolize retards like that, those are, okay, don't say it. All right, I won't say it anymore. Sorry. People that idolize people that way, like they do MGK, they try and justify weird actions like, oh, well, drinking blood's normal. Drinking blood's normal? Have you ever drank anybody else's blood?
Not that I can remember.
Did he ever drink anybody else's blood? Taylor, never mind. We want to ask Taylor, you ever drink blood? Humberto? About a gallon, probably.
Good camera work. That was
does bathing count in the blood of my enemies?
Perfect, Dre. That was perfect. No, I've never drank blood. It's been squirted in my face by accident, but I didn't. Kelly, right? I didn't want to. It was a stat. Anyway, that's neither here nor there.
But people try and justify weird behavior like that as normal, and it makes me go, you're weird for trying to make that normal.
Robert, it's not weird. It's Europe, okay? And nobody does better weird in Europe than the Germans.
Yeah. Oh, this is the Germans?
Not everything is terrible. I need to commend this guy. He put the fire's PowerPoint presentation I've seen in my life. Roll the tape. I love this guy.
Go.
Look at the background. This guy.
Kelly, play this guy. Is there pasta? Yeah, cut it, count.
I don't think the songs are important enough to get copyrighted.
Is this like
Could you imagine if there are aliens, and they land on Earth, and that's what they say? They go, this is the representation of humanity, or shoulder pad.
And the last thing.
That guy loved, not to cut you off, that guy loved pasta, Kelly. Kelly goes, God, he really loved pasta. That's what you put behind you?
And if I hate journalists in general, except you, Savannah, I love you. You're the best.
No, because you're a real journalist. You're talking about Main Street.
But European journalists are worst. Okay. This is after that performance. This is the press, conference. It's amazing. All the hard-hitting questions. I love this.
All right, God, he's putting their foot to the fire.
Yeah.
Your song unites so many emotions in just 3 minutes. It's a roller coaster of emotions. Do you think that your song can unite us all by music?
Stop. This is SNL.
Wait, hold on. Let me hear it.
I think that's a good question for the EBU.
Kelly, pause it. I was waiting for them like this. Believe pasta brings everybody together. I love pasta. Who doesn't love pasta?
Okay.
The pasta's good.
To close the segment in a positive way, and I know Amy's not here, but unfortunately, Australia, that is also in Europe now, didn't qualify for the finals.
They didn't.
This was the reaction right here.
This is what?
The reaction to not qualifying.
This is a video?
No, it's not a video.
Oh, it's just Norway?
Yeah. Norway. Poor Australians.
That's so fun. For anybody that knows Australian accent.
Well, I've never paid attention to Eurovision, but I feel like it needs to become a yearly thing.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
Let me ask, now that you've seen this and you've seen the Netflix movie, what is more enjoyable?
Real life. Real life was way crazier than the movie, I would say.
It's way crazier. Yeah. I think when you live stream this, it's wonderful.
Oh my God, dude, I'm being dead serious. I'm pretty in tune and in touch with everything. I've never even heard of that. I saw the witch, the screaming in a quick Instagram thing, but
that was just the tip of the
Europeans, man. You're right.
Bringing the culture here.
Something's going wrong. But all right. So guys, listen. That does it for us. Everybody, Taylor, Umberto, Rob, Savannah. It was a pleasure. I hope you come back and you see us. Savannah, do me a favor. Look into the camera and tell everybody where they can find you, what you're doing, what you're up to.
Definitely. Well, thank you guys so much for having me. It was a lot of fun. You guys can follow me on Twitter at Sav_says_ and YouTube Sav Says as well. I do a lot of my live reporting on X because thank God we finally have the ability to do it again. So go follow me there.
Yeah. Elon Musk. We love you to death, brother. But anyway, guys, thank you guys so much. We have another episode coming out on Monday.
Yes,
correct?
sir.
Guys, if you haven't subscribed, please, the subscription button, where is it? There it is. Hit the little, where is it? Bing. Hit
We got
that
to
right
30,000.
Well, we're at 30,000,
Yeah.
guys.
Let's make it
We love
100,000.
you. Like I've said,
A million.
more than you know. Please keep sharing it. Please telling people.
I love you, Chad.
If you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe. Guys, take care of each other. Love each other because love is all we need. God bless you guys, and we'll see you guys next week. We're out.